I think the LG G6 is probably a little bit cheaper depending on where you do get it from, but you know, we're going to see if that is worth taking up here, or is it worth going for the S8, which comes with a very nice design overall compared to the G6, which looks a little bit more basic. But then again, some people don't like the curved display, and that could appeal to people for the G6, which does come on a little bit slower here. As you can see, it is running last year's processor versus this year's Exynos processor. Nevertheless, we're going to have a look here how they do compare. So we'll just get rid of everything. Everything's up to date, and we have charged both to 100%, as you can see. So we can see how the battery holds up as well. So we'll just open up a few apps here. So that was the G6, that was the S8, and that was the G6. Very similar. I'd say the G6 again, only just. So very similar again there. We're going to have a look at the inbuilt apps, TouchWiz versus LG's kind of skin here. So we have obviously clock, very similar actually. We have as well something else here, calculator. So where is the calculator? There we go. LG again. We have the Play Store. I'd say that was the LG, only just. So very interesting here. The LG seems to be going ahead in terms of the performance when we consider the smaller apps. LG skin is arguably a little bit lighter here than the Samsung equivalent, but I think both of them are quite heavy nevertheless. You can see that was quite comparable with the gallery. What else do we have? We have some other things. So let's have a look at some of the games performance. So this is where Samsung seems to be going ahead a little bit maybe. You can see it's loading a little bit faster there on the left for this one, which is good. We do have Kingcraft. Again, Samsung here. So the games do seem to be loading a bit faster on the Samsung here. So that is quite nice. And did we do something else? Let's just see. What else did we have? This one. So it's just giving a warning there on the aspect ratio. I don't think every game is optimized for these devices. Developers better get on the case. Oh, this one's going to LG, as you can see. Nice fast load here. So 3-1 for the games, but I think LG did equalize it when it came to the day-to-day apps, which is very good performance from this handset given the slightly outdated specs. And also we're going to, wow, both of them crashed the game. We're going to have a look at the Wi-Fi. So you can see both are not on the same one. So both of them on the same one now, as you can see, nice and fair. And LG, you can see, doesn't let us down here. Very flagship level score. That's what I want to see. And the screen doesn't look too bad actually from this angle. You know, it looks pretty good head on. It's an IPS display. And we do have Samsung. What can that do? Oh dear. So LG is ahead when it comes to the speed test, which is very nice for LG fans, gotta say. You know, that was totally unexpected. Better for the ping, slightly worse for the upload. We're just going to give the S8 another chance here, because usually it does do quite well. You know, we want to make it sure that we're getting the best speeds here. And no, you can see I've actually closed the door, so maybe the Wi-Fi isn't that good when you close the door on the S8. But you can see LG is pretty good here for the Wi-Fi. Let's see if it can do it again. Wow, life's good indeed. Oh, it's gone down again. Now it's going back up. So you can see very consistently good on the Wi-Fi here with LG, which is nice. We're going to just open up a few web pages just to see, you know, how that does compare here. So I think I've cleared the cache on both of them, so we have like a fair, you know, test here, and you can see slight differences in terms of the display on here. I think the display on the LG is a little bit warmer, but you can see loading the page very fast on the S8, and this is a full-size page. You can see loading the pictures, etc. So I'm definitely giving the S8 the nod there. We're just going to do Phone Arena. And go. So S8 again came up with the pictures, etc. a little bit faster. So you can see, even though the Wi-Fi is really good on the LG, it doesn't translate into the best performance. I think LG should go back to having its own browser here, which I think it did have one of its own browsers at one point, but then it got rid of it. We are using Samsung's own browser on the S8 obviously, so they can you know, really optimize that. Finally, we're going to do the multitasking to see, ooh, very nice on LG there, 1-0, to see if we can see any differences here. LG again, nice, keeping it in memory. Ooh, Samsung, you know, you're getting shown up here. LG's very nice and stable, no reloading or anything. A little bit slow to come up with the dialer there. So what's all that about? Because I'm sure the S8 was better when I first got it. They have updated it a few times since I've got it, and usually updates make things better. But you can see here, you know, LG's done a fantastic job when it comes to the multitasking. A little bit slow going into the camera there, but overall, you know, I'm going to give it a nod here. I see a little bit more reloading on Samsung here. See how they handle the games. So it looks like both of them have reloaded the first game. And let's go to the second one. Oh, LG again. get in there. So you can see LG is ahead on the games. And this is totally unexpected, you know. I was expecting Samsung to completely dominate the LG, but no. You know, LG has done quite well here. Just imagine if they put a really flagship level processor in. You can see the Samsung's reloaded every game here, but the LG's just gone straight back into it, which is fantastic performance here on LG. So yeah, you know, I think you can summarize here. Overall, I think LG has won in terms of the multitasking. It's won in terms of the basic apps. Samsung did come back when it came to the browsing and the opening games, but LG was better in terms of the raw Wi-Fi synthetic at the moment. So very nice to see actually. And how are the battery lives doing? Let's have a look. So we can see the 3000 battery in the S8 seems to have gone down a little bit more than the 3300 you get in the LG. That is something else to consider here. You get a little bit bigger battery in the standard LG over the standard LG. In terms of the overall day-to-day experience, I have used both phones as like a main daily driver, and the thing which really drove me up the wall with the S8 was the fingerprint scanner, which is absolutely impossible to use like when you've got the phone in your left hand. You know, it just kept misreading my fingerprint no matter what I did. It's a little bit better when you got it in your right hand, but it pales in comparison to the efficiency of the LG one, which is right in the middle here. Very nice and comfortable to use. Overall, the LG feels a little bit more rugged as well, like it's built to last here. I did actually buy a case for the Samsung because I'm actually worried about dropping the device. So if you're looking for something which will last a bit longer, maybe the LG is a bit better there, although they have gone with the Gorilla Glass 3, which is a bit annoying with the LG. You would expect the latest Gorilla Glass for the price that they are asking for the device. In terms of the other features you get with the phones, obviously based upon where you get the LG from, you might get wireless charging, you might get a quad DAC. This one does have a quad DAC, so LG's kind of failed there in regards to making it a consistent experience overall. Samsung's also failed a little bit in terms of S8 consistency. We're getting reports of different UFS versions if you have the Snapdragon model, and the UFS 2.0 is slower than the UFS 2.1, so you need to obviously do a speed tester just to check what you're getting. I think Exynos models are fine, but many of these manufacturers are being shady nowadays in terms of what they're putting in their devices, so you know, you got to watch out really. So yeah, you know, quite interesting results here. Overall, I think Samsung is a little bit ahead still, you know, this year. Maybe LG can even things up for the V30. I hope they do go with the OLED display as the main priority. And you know, bigger battery, 4000 at the very least, 6 gigs of RAM, that's what I want to see. But if you're looking for the LG G6, it's easily recommendable. You know, it's got a cheaper price, it feels great, and yeah, you know, just make sure you get a good price for it overall. So yeah, hope you found the video helpful. I will be doing some other comparisons, so do stay tuned for that. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.